Hello and welcome to Beyond the Scale, Weight Loss and Wellness. I'm your host, Coach Monica. I'm joined today by Coach Darcy, and we are here to guide you through the ins and outs of a lifestyle that's transformed not just our lives, but the lives of countless women navigating the waves of perimenopause and menopause. Whether you're here to shed weight, understand your body better, or simply find a community that gets it, you're in the right place. So sit back and enjoy the next few minutes as we tackle the hot issues of today. Welcome back, everybody. We're so excited to be behind the mic today. We have a really fun topic that a lot of people, as they go through their health journey, spend a lot of money. They think they found it. They've been scrolling through TikTok. They've been knowing that they've got to make a change in life. And so they get so overwhelmed. And sometimes it's either a random pick it out of the cloud. I'm going to try this one. Some people do some research before they enroll in a program, but a lot of times it's just a shot in the dark. And there's so many questions to ask ourselves. And we know the history of this. We know what has happened in our diet history of try something, it fails. Try something, oh, I found the greatest, latest program. I'm going to do it. I'm going to change my life for good. And then they fail. The fact of the matter is, if health coaching actually worked the way most programs promise, people wouldn't keep starting over. Now, full disclosure, a lot of these programs are just money makers. They know that these programs don't work and they know the answer, but it's not a moneymaker. And that's really sad because a lot of people are desperately trying to choose their path. And that's why a lot of people lean into the drug industry for help. But it doesn't have to be that way. You don't have to try a program and fail. And a lot of these programs, when someone enrolls, they track the macros, they follow the plans, they lose weight, and then they gain it back. It's a circle. And the fact of the matter is, it's not that they didn't try hard enough. It's that the coaching models are incomplete. And so today we're going to break down why most health coaching programs fail and what's been missing the whole time. And we love what we do. Coach Darcy and I love what we do. We show up every day, we work with clients, and they change their lives. And the only way we want our clients back is that they come back and coach for us. We want them to graduate. We don't want an unending health style that they keep needing us. Our goal in life is to get people to graduate. And if you come back to change people's lives with us. And so through the past 8 years, we found that secret. We found why health coaching programs fail. And we've been able to put in the missing pieces and have a long-term success program. So Coach Darcy's behind the mic with me today. We're so excited that she's here.
Yay.
Excited that we've got this topic today because it's one that really touches home.
Yeah.
People spend a lot of money for this. And putting money into your health is an investment. It's a good investment. But we want to make sure that you choose the right program and the one that fits you. So we're going to have our segment 1 today be about the problem. We're going to sandwich this baby in here. You have to talk about the problem first. So the problem with most coaching models. Darcy, you want to talk about that for a little bit?
For sure. What I've heard from several mouths when I ask them, what is something that you look for when you're looking for a program or a lifestyle change or a diet? And they're like, oh, I just feel like I do best when I have a meal plan. So then I know how to eat. I know what to consume, yada, yada, yada. I get that. I've heard that so many times. They also talk about these programs, talk about the macros. We talk about macros. I think macros are important, but they emphasize so much on, oh, macros are so important. And that's the only thing that's going to get you to lose the weight. Also, being in a calorie deficit. That is another thing that a lot of programs just solely focus on. Working out, that is the industry over in the workout department where they think, oh, all we have to do is work out first. That's usually what people tend to do after January 1st is they hit the gym. They go to the gym because that's the thing that's going to cause them to lose the weight and get healthy. But then there's another one where all these are all of these are technically working at short-term results. That is the summary of what all of these things that I mentioned, that they are just focused on the short-term results. Anybody can eat less. Anybody can go to work out. Anybody can follow a meal plan. But my question is, for how long? How long is that going to last? How long are you going to be able to do that and sustain that? So some of these issues here, these approaches, they are so focused on what to do, but they ignore how to sustain it. That is a big portion that we've discovered over the years of when I remember with when you first opened your company, Coach, and you had lost your weight, you were focused on giving the people what happened to you. You lost the weight, you felt better. So you wanted to make sure that happened. But then we were realizing that there was just something that wasn't connecting. Like people would reverse everything, that hard work that they did. They would go back. It was not sustainable to them. Most coaches, like we probably did at the very beginning, we just gave them instructions and the science behind what keto was, but it didn't give a sustainable transformation.
Yeah.
So the cycle is they start strong, they follow the rules. That's why the meal plans, they like to follow the meal plans because it is rule following. But then life happens. Nobody prepared you for the life, right? And then they fall off. We call that going off the exit ramp,
Yeah.
taking a break. And then they have to restart. That restart then brings in guilt. And then they're back to the same old cycle. They get motivated again. Maybe they tried something new. Maybe they tried a whole new program that's maybe not keto, but maybe they went to the opposite side when they went vegan. Whatever it is, they are starting a new cycle because they don't think the first one worked to begin with, but they are missing something big. Can you talk to us about what is missing there?
Yeah, it is big because every single person is different. Everybody has a different metabolic system. And so when you choose a program, you've got to understand your blood sugar. How does your body react with the blood sugar, with the insulin, which is the fat storage hormone? What is your stress like? There's a metabolic understanding that has to be on the front side of your decision. How do you work? How do you work under stress? How are you sleeping? What are the things that are going on? What is your nervous system and your stress support? You may have a lot of stress, but you have no support at home. And chronic stress will block your results if you don't learn how to deal with this appropriately. And most programs ignore this completely. Those step-by-step programs, eat this, not that. It ignores the fact that maybe you're coming home that day and you had a really bad day at work and your kids are making you pull your hair out and everything falls apart when you get home, or everything falls apart when you go to a social gathering. What happens in your nervous system when you have these things? Made to build programs don't put those factors in. A lot of programs don't deal with the behavioral and the mindset coaching, the all or nothing thinking. If you fail this, you're going to do this. If you emotionally eat, what happens then? That they don't identify patterns in your life because it was built for thousands of people. Maybe you're that one person that you've got this pattern that you've got to work with first. And so those programs have a gap in the behavioral and the mindset. And here's the big one. This is the one that I just could scream from the mountaintops is real life application. Every client that asks me for a meal plan, I'm like, I got a lot of those built, but I'm going to tell you, you're going to fail.
Yeah.
Meal plans are great for recipes. That's all they're great for because real life gets busy, real life gets messy, and real life just doesn't work with a meal plan. Real life doesn't work in travel. It doesn't work in your stress. It's not personalized for you. Real life doesn't, the pre-built meal plans don't account for your family. There's some things that you just can't implement if you've got a family. We've got a client right now with 5 boys. I've got to personalize her meal plan for her because she's a busy mama. So most of those pre-built programs are built for perfection. And I'm going to tell you, Darce, when I first opened my practice, I had a pre-built plan.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that, but it was a pre-built plan. And yes, it worked for a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's not real life. Real life
Yeah.
is sitting in the mess with a client, picking up the pieces and saying, hey, we're moving forward. It may be slow, but we're moving forward. We're not going back. And those pre-built plans or those one size fits all plans do not work.
Yeah.
And here's where we talk about why when people go through these plans and they lose their money, they've just spent a bunch of money, why they think they are the problem. Talk
Yeah.
about that for a second.
So, like you said, when they can't follow through, when they can't follow those plans perfectly that were set up for perfection, they end up thinking that they're the problem. Oh, that didn't work for me. And then they go spread the news like, "Oh, that doesn't work. That didn't work for me, so it doesn't work." Or maybe it makes them feel these big emotional feelings that we didn't account for when we created these programs of perfection and just follow the program. When people get those big emotions about failure, about guilt, about all those things that they did not account for when they first joined, when those programs fail them, they begin to blame themselves. They begin to say, I just lack discipline. I don't have willpower. I just caved in, or I guess I just need to try harder. In fact, you didn't fail the program. You just failed and you didn't fail. The program failed you because that
Mm.
program was not meant for you to be perfect. We always talk about these moments when we quote unquote fail the program. We're not learning why we failed it. We're just keep continuing to move forward and continue those emotions when we should be realizing that people make mistakes, people have
Yeah.
chaos, people have stress, people have these things that are going to catch you off guard. You're going to not be able to take your meal plan when you go
Hmm.
out to eat. So anyone would
Yeah.
struggle in a rigid system, period.
Yeah.
Anyone's going to do that, especially when we add in the stress, when we add in the hormones, because
Hmm.
nobody talks about the hormones,
Yeah.
and then just the real life and how those all domino effect on each other.
Yeah. I'll never
So,
forget an example that I read about one time about if you can imagine yourself going up one of those escalators and walking up an escalator that's going down. If you're walking up, which some of us have been caught on one of those. Oops, I got on the wrong one. But if you imagine yourself walking up a down escalator, if you're moving and you're moving your feet forward, you're going up. It's slower, but you're
Mhm.
going up. Where you fail is where you stop. And that's where most of these programs end up is it's not working, so I'm just going to stop moving. And then what happens? That down escalator is going to take you down and you're going to start at the bottom of the steps again. And so what actually works is we need to keep moving forward. Doesn't matter how slow. And that's the frustration in this GLP-1 world is because all of these family and friends are moving very quickly. And because I'm losing a pound a week, I'm failing. No, you're moving forward and you're going up and you're moving towards your goal. You just get to keep your weight off at the end. That's your reward. And so, what actually works is moving forward. And then again, going back to that metabolic first approach, stabilizing your blood sugar. That's where all of our weight loss programs stem around is where's your blood sugar? Because if your blood sugar's high, you're pumping insulin out. Insulin is the fat storage hormone. And so we got to stabilize your blood sugar first. We've got to support your hormones. I got to know where you are in your cycle of life. Are you in perimenopause? Are you in menopause? Do you have the menopause belly? Do we have to do some supplementation with hormones? We've got to build your internal health first. Because when we build the internal health first, that's like building your foundation that everything else falls upon. Most programs have that missing. And then we have to work on the mindset. Consistency over perfection. Everybody wants perfection. And those pre made meal plans and those pre made programs all deal around perfection. Eat this, don't eat that. You do this, you won't fail. Again, real life. That doesn't work in real life. That doesn't work when you have chaos and kids and churches, all of these things around you. So you've got to have consistency over perfection. And you've got to have a flexible structure. No two clients of ours are on the same program because we work within the structure of that family, of that system. And when we do that, it works. We have to change how people think. How do you think about that stress around you? How do you think about your lack of sleep? How do we change that one thing? How do you respond to that when we do that? We may have to do a couple trial tests with you, right? How do we build self-trust again? Because so many of us have failed at so many diets, we've
Mhm.
lost that trust.
Yeah.
And we think we're the failure when in fact we just chose the wrong program. We've got to trust ourselves again. And we've got to build a whole person support. And that is everything. That is all the ingredients together. That's your food, your stress, your sleep, your lifestyle. All of that is based around the whole person support. We don't want to just tell you what to do. We want to help you become someone who can actually sustain it because when you sustain it, you have weight loss for life. And then you get to spend the rest of your life just maintaining what you've done. But because we put those systems in place and that foundation in place first, you get to keep it.
Yeah.
It really is simple, but it is so complex that it's simple.
Yeah. And I think that's what makes us stand out in our coaching practice. That makes us different because we have realized that we can't just follow a plan and think that we have long-term sustainability. We get specific on certain things. Like you mentioned, how you adapt as a individual. How do you
Mm-hmm.
adapt in this program? We talk about being researchers of ourselves. When
Mm-hmm.
we are able to do the hard things and being the researchers of ourselves, we're going to understand how we work, how our bodies work, how our cycles work. What next when you are in menopause? Do you have to deal with hot flashes all the time or can you get that balanced out? We meet you where you are, like you've pinpointed, Monica. Like
Yeah.
we meet them in the circumstances that they are. And since they are all so vastly different, yes, there's some similar qualities, and we've been able to identify certain habits that clients tend to lean on and that are very similar, but essentially it's all different.
Yeah.
We coach through that real life situation so that when you do go out to eat, you're going to know, you're going to be able to put your scanny eyes on and know what is
Mhm.
going to be healthy for you, what you can't have, or what you shouldn't have, all of those situations. And the biggest thing is that we help our clients remove shame from the process.
Yeah.
Usually alongside that cycle, like I mentioned at the beginning, that cycle always points to shame, always points to guilt, always points to not being able to trust ourselves because we just always keep failing. So
Yeah.
instead of handing you a plan and just say, follow this, and hope that it works, cross our fingers. We talk with you while you are learning how to make it work in your life. It's not
Yeah.
going to be an instant gratification type of lifestyle. We're going to ask you to work hard at pinpointing what the root cause for you is going to be and how to go around those, not go around, but work with those situations. And that's why I emphasize journaling all the time.
Yeah.
It's important to talk it out, to write it out, to lean on a coach like you and me that can help them be able to say it out loud instead of just keeping it in their heads of, oh, here we go again. I was
Yeah.
faced with this dessert that I absolutely love and I caved in. Okay, let's talk about it. Why did you cave in?
Yeah.
That's what we do. We want to find the root of the weed that's causing you to find yourself on the exit ramp
Yeah.
again. So,
Yeah. Yeah. You totally make sense. If you struggled before, it makes sense, right? It totally makes sense. Once you understand your foundation and what your family structure looks like and what your life really looks like, and actually do some mental inventory, some family inventory, once you find that out, you can find the solutions and you can work through that. If you started over so many times, you are not alone. The diet industry is a $1 billion diet industry. People know that. They know that there's recomers. They know that there's people that are going to fail their programs. And frankly, a lot of them don't care because they know that is revenue. They know that, hey, it's just going to be a cycle. You're not alone. You are actually on the popular side of things. And if you're frustrated, it's valid. You don't need more willpower. You just need better support. And that's what we're here. If you are having questions, if you're wanting to just get this over, do it one time, get it over with, give us a call. We're going to put you on the right program for you. It's not about your effort, it's about the approach. And so, our encouragement to you is you're not starting over from scratch, you're starting from experience. You know what you've had in the past and it hasn't worked. So, I'm excited about all of this. I'm excited to see freedom for our clients. I'm excited to see a breakthrough in weight loss. This is what we want. This is what we've been working for so long. And if you're there on the struggle bus, no worries. No worries. Just grab our hand, ask us, which program do I need, coach? Is it hormones? Is it insulin? What is it? We'll put you on an appointment that will go through your health history. We're going to talk to you about your personal story, and maybe you struggle with food addiction. Not all programs are for you, right? So grab our website, kmhealthcoaching.org is where you find us. You can find Coach Darcy's schedule there. You can find my schedule. Get on our calendar. Give us a wrap up of what you've tried in the past, and maybe we can help you start a brand new journey where you will be on the right path, a personalized one.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
What are we talking about next week?
so next week, we forgot to say that we've got a whole new different episode going on, or a season. We had a season 1 where we talked more about the scientific stuff. So if you're new to our channel, go back and listen to those episodes. And we
Yeah.
talk a lot about the science portion of what keto is and all of those things. So go back to that. So we're in a new season 2, and for our episode 2, we are going to be talking about why we don't just focus on weight loss and what actually matters more for a long-term results. We love teaching our clients to fish, and that whole phrase of how when you teach somebody to fish, you can feed them for a lifetime. And that's what our hope is for our clients when they graduate from us, that they know that when they're on their own and when life is happening, they feel confident and free enough to know that what to do in that circumstance. That's what we're going to be talking about next next episode. I hope you enjoyed this one. And
Yeah. Awesome.
yeah,
I know I did.
yeah, absolutely.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week.
Bye.